Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Pythagorean Theorem. What do we use Pythagorean Theorem for? We use it to find the length of a side when given the length of two other sides. Keep in mind that you can only use Pythagorean Theorem when you're given a right triangle. That means that one of the angles has to be 90 degrees. So let's say I give you a triangle. And let's say that this corner is 90 degrees. And let's say that the length of this side of the triangle is, I'm going to call that length A. And I'm going to call the length of this side B. And I'm going to call the length of this third side C. Note that C is called the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the longest side and is always opposite of the 90-degree angle. So the formula that we use when applying Pythagorean theorem is as follows. We're going to use the formula a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So let's say that I give you the length of two sides. So for side A, I'm going to give you a length of 6. And for side B, I'm going to give you a length of 8. Let's say that I ask you to find the length of the third side. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to plug it into our wonderful formula and solve for C. So what is our A? Our A is 6. So I'm going to plug in 6 for A. And I'm going to plug in 8 for B, and I'm going to solve for C, okay? So right here is just computation, so let us compute. 6 squared is 36. 8 squared is 64. And we're just going to carry over our C squared. So now it's just adding. What is 36 plus 64? So if I come out to the side and I add 36 plus 64, we get 100. So I'm going to put 100 in, and now we have c squared. Now, what are we going to do to isolate c? We want c by itself. So in order to get rid of the c squared, we need to take the square root of both sides. So if I take the square root of both sides, it allows the 2 to cancel with the square root, and it gives us c by itself. Okay, and then as far as the square root of 100, what is the square root of 100? The square root of 100 is 10. Okay, so we have 10 is equal to c. So the length of the third side is equal to 10. So c is equal to 10. And that is how you find the third side. Does that sound easy enough? Let's look at another example. So I give you a triangle. And we're going to let this angle be 90 degrees. So we have a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to go ahead and label the sides. This side is A, this side is B, and this side is C. And now this time I give you side C and side B, and you're asked to find side A. So let side B be a length of 12, and let side C be a length of 15. And I ask you to find the length of side A. So once again, we're going to write the formula out. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So now I'm just going to plug in my values. So A squared is what we're trying to find. We said our B is going to be 12. So let's plug in 12 for B. And we said that our C is 15. So now it's just all about computation from here. So we have A squared. We know that 12 squared is 144, right? And 15 squared is 225. So now we solve for A. In order to solve for A, we need to get A by itself. So what are we going to do? We're going to subtract 144 from both sides so that we can isolate A. So if I subtract 144 from the right side, from the left side, and then we subtract 144 from the right side, a plus 144 minus a 144 is just a 0, right? And now we're going to subtract 144 from 225. So that gives us, that gives us an 81 on our right side. So now I'm going to rewrite it. A squared is equal to 81. But now we still need to get rid of the square in order to isolate A. So I am going to take the square root of both sides in order to isolate A and make sure A is by itself. So A squared, the square root of A squared is just A, and the square root of 81 is 9. Why? Because 9 times 9 is 81. Okay, so we are left with 9. So our missing side here, A is equal to 9. And that is our answer for the missing side. Let's look at our very last example. Okay, so I give you a triangle again. And this is our 90-degree angle. And I'm going to go ahead and label the sides. This is side A, this is side B, and this is side C. This time I'm going to give you side A and side C, and you will be asked to find the length of side B. So let side A be a length of 12. And let side C be a length of 20. And we want to find the length of side B. So I'm going to go ahead and write the formula out like we did before. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in the pieces of information that are given. So A is 12, so we have 12 squared plus B is what we're trying to solve. So I'm going to just go ahead and keep B squared. And we said our C is 20, so I'm going to plug in 20 for C. So we have 20 squared. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and clean it up a bit. So 12 squared is 144. And we carry over our B squared. 20 squared is basically 20 times 20, right? So if I come out to the side and I just say 20 times 20, we have 400. So 400 will be on our right side. So we need to isolate B again. So in order to isolate B, we need to subtract 144 from both sides. That gives us a 0 here. And we're going to subtract 144 from 400, and we are left with 256. So I'm going to come over here and clean it up a little bit. We have b squared is equal to 256. Again, we want b to be by itself. Okay, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. I'm just going to sort of erase this. And what is the square root of 256? The square root of 256 is 16. So we have b is equal to 16. Now, I show in another video how to simplify the square root. So this video is under the assumption that you already know how to simplify the square root. And that is how you use Pythagorean Theorem to solve for the missing side of a right triangle. Thank you for watching. Bye.